What if losing your job wasn't a crisis, but the start of your next upgrade? Right now, work feels broken. Layoffs are sweeping through the government. Tech is replacing humans faster than it trains them. Workers are either burnt out or bored, and productivity is falling across the board. But what if AI didn't just disrupt work? What if it rebuilt it? Not with fantasy, not with spirituality, but with real tools, clear policy, and a leader bold enough to make it happen. Introducing the National Productivity Pact, a ground-up redesign of American labor, powered by AI, led by enterprise, and championed by Donald Trump. Not a jobs program, a productivity revolution. And it doesn't start in 10 years. It starts now with urgency, vision, and unstoppable forward momentum. If you're into bold ideas that rewrite the rules, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Let's build something together. Picture it, 2025. The US government is slashing hundreds of thousands of civil service jobs. Factories are slowing down, inventories piling up. Workers are disillusioned. College degrees aren't opening doors. The American dream feels stalled. And yet AI is booming. It's making billionaires faster than gold rushes ever did. But for most people, it's a black box or a threat. Automation promises efficiency but leaves communities hollowed out. Workers don't want handouts. They want direction, purpose, income, a shot. That's the moment Donald steps in. He doesn't just tweet through it. He proposes an entirely new alignment between work, tech, and governance. He calls it the Pact. And the name matters. A pact isn't a policy. It's a promise. A deal you don't break. Trump doesn't offer sympathy. He offers scale. A vision to reintegrate technology into American work without sacrificing people. Not with subsidies for failed systems, but with a clear deal: perform, produce, evolve, and we'll back you. It's business first, results-driven, and unapologetically American. Donald Trump brings the brand, the certainty. He doesn't whisper transformation, he broadcasts it. In this model, Trump doesn't run the tech, he runs the deal. His job is to break gridlock, cut red tape, and create the political conditions for a nationwide reboot. Meanwhile, Elon Musk and tech giants like Amazon, Palantir, and Salesforce supply the engine. They build modular AI tools that small businesses and cities can adopt without hiring armies of coders. The tools aren't general-purpose toys. They're task-specific, performance-optimized platforms that know how to get stuff done. But the third player, the sleeper agent, is the American worker. Whether you're in logistics, healthcare, construction, or design, your role isn't obsolete. It's overdue for a redefinition. With data, with tools, with real-time feedback loops, people level up, and they bring pride with them. It's not just about creating more jobs, it's about creating better ones. Roles that adapt, evolve, and reward contribution. Where career paths are fluid but grounded in real progress. The pact sees the worker not as a liability, but as an under-leveraged asset, one AI can help unlock. And that mindset shift changes everything. No longer is job security the endpoint. Now, growth is the metric. Progress is the norm. And a stagnant role is no longer seen as safe. It's seen as unfinished. Together, these three forces form the pact. Government clears the runway. Tech supplies the jet. People fly it. Phase 1, 0 to 12 months. Launch the pact. Trump signs the Work Innovation and Productivity Act, WIPA. It creates the National Work Council, a public-private board that defines standards, certifies AI tools, and audits fairness. WIPA also funds work innovation zones, 10 pilot cities where companies, schools, and governments agree to new rules. They get tax breaks and AI grants. In return, they report metrics, retrain workers, and show results. These pilots aren't symbolic, they're pressure cookers. Real-time labs where policy meets execution. Mayors, governors, and CEOs sign on because the rewards are tangible. And failure isn't punished, it's learned from. Fast feedback becomes the norm. At the same time, a skills and transition fund launches. Displaced workers get AI-generated role matches, training vouchers, and access to performance analytics. If you're willing to try, the system will help you grow. Phase 2, Year 1 to 3. Scale fast. The top-performing pilots expand into nationwide networks. Sectoral councils form, one for each major industry. They set wage floors, recommend tools, and coordinate training. Companies can join voluntarily, but if they do, they get access to government contracts, special financing, and first-in-line status for federal procurement. Productivity modules get smarter. Workers get wearable tech that tracks performance, rest, collaboration patterns, and recommends improvements. If you opt in, your metrics travel with you. Employers can see your verified reputation, cutting bias and guesswork. New job formats emerge. Outcome-based contracts replace clock watching. Some work 25 hours, others 60. You're paid for what you deliver, not how long you sit. Education shifts too. Schools partner with employers to embed real-world tools into training. Degrees get shorter, sharper. Certificates carry more weight. Learning becomes a lifelong cycle, not a 4-year detour. And small businesses benefit just as much. With access to the same AI modules as big players, mom-and-pop shops can now compete in real time. The pact is not just for Silicon Valley, it's for Main Street. Phase 3, Year 3 to 5. Embed and export. Trump declares victory. American productivity is rising. Wages follow. The pact is embedded in law. Workers have rights to data, to appeal AI decisions, and to control their professional profiles. AI isn't a manager, it's a tool. The US begins exporting its model. Pact-compliant AI systems become a global standard. Emerging economies adopt it with American support. Alliances form around work protocols. The dollar is backed not just by oil or gold, but by output. And culturally, the shift becomes permanent. Work isn't just tolerated, it's optimized. People talk about their tools the way they used to talk about their commutes. The middle class is redefined not by what you do, but how well you use what you have. People, always people. Some will resist the data, others will game it. Privacy critics will scream surveillance. Workers who don't perform will blame the system. Employers will try to exploit the tools. That's why the pact isn't just about code, it's about trust. Rules for fairness, audits for abuse, opt-outs for edge cases, humans in the loop, always. And politics will get messy. Some will say it's too corporate, others, too socialist. But most Americans, they want results. They want work that works. And if the pact delivers, the noise fades. It's not a silver bullet, but it is a strategy, a realignment of effort, tools, and reward. If it fails, we fall back to chaos. But if it works, we climb into something better. And the world watches closely. Because if America can solve work, others will follow. If America can make this pact real, it won't just rebuild the economy. It'll redefine what it means to contribute. Imagine waking up, checking your personalized dashboard. It shows what tasks match your goals today. You see your progress, your trends, your path. You're not locked in, you're moving up. And if the job ends, the system catches you, offers you options, reskills you for what's next. You're not working for a boss, you're working for your potential. This is work reimagined, practical, political, scalable, AI-enhanced, people-centered, built not on fantasies, but on deals, and led by someone who knows how to make deals. If you'd live in this world, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Let's make the impossible possible.